Why play Pantheon Top? Well, he can put out a ton of damage. He has a point and click stun, his ultimate gives him amazing roams, and he's just a massive lane bully. However, he does lack mobility, only having a small targeted jump, and he does lack wave clear, meaning he can get pushed in. Pantheon's passive is whenever he lands a basic attack or casts an ability, he gains a stack, stacking up to 5 times. When fully stacked, his next basic ability will consume these stacks and empower itself, and he fully stacks this at the start of the game, when he backs, and when respawning. Pantheon's Q can be used in 2 ways. Firstly, the ability can be charged where he slows himself a small amount, and after a short charge it becomes a long-range skill shot. Upon use, Pantheon throws his spear, dealing damage, and this deals increased damage against enemies below 20% health. However, if this ability is just tapped, he thrusts his spear a small distance forward, dealing the same damage and refunding 60% of its cooldown. If this ability is enhanced, it deals additional damage. Pantheon's W is a point-and-click ability which leaps into an enemy, dealing damage and stunning them. This ability can also be used as an auto-attack reset. If this ability is empowered after use, his next basic attack is empowered to attack 3 times quickly, dealing damage and applying on-hit effects. This will instantly give him 3 stacks again towards his passive. Pantheon's E causes him to raise his shield in a direction, making him invulnerable against all non-tower damage from that direction. While doing so, he also attacks in a cone in front of him, dealing damage to enemies hit, and this ability cannot be interrupted by CC. This ability can then be recast to slam his shield in front of him, dealing damage. If this ability is enhanced, he gains a massive burst of movement speed after slamming the shield. Pantheon's ultimate has a passive where he gains armor penetration. The active is a very long-range skill shot where he can choose a point on the map where he then starts to channel. During this time, he becomes immune to CC, and he jumps in the air, granting sight of his landing location. After a short amount of time, he then throws his spear to the location, dealing damage and slowing enemies hit, before he crashes down to the point, creating a shockwave which damages all enemies hit. And as he lands after his ultimate, his passive is fully stacked. The combos start with your empowered W into your 3 attacks. After this, land Q into an attack, followed up with your E. And if you start with ultimate, try to land the spear throw from the ultimate if possible, and then upon landing, use an auto attack into your W. Follow up with your 3 auto attacks, Q into E. Matchups: Pantheon does great into champions who can easily jump onto and burst out, and he can struggle against some of the more fighter-based bullies, who have similar damage to you but do bring more sustain. For runes take this, you proc Conqueror incredibly easily. For build orders, start Blade and Pot into your tier 2 boots and an Eclipse. After this, a Black Cleaver and Shogun are great pickups before finishing a build with any of these as needed. For skill orders, start Q, then W, then E before maxing Q, then E, then W, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Ignite. From the very start of the game, you're looking to farm hard and bully hard. Keep poking with the spear as much as you can. It's a fast-moving skill shot, making it hard to dodge, and if you land enough of this poke, it gives you great kill pressure. When your passive's fully stacked, it's almost always a good time to go in with your W. And as you end this combo with empowered E, you'll have done tons of damage to them while they're stunned, and with all that extra movement speed, you can simply move backwards so they can't trade back. When you hit level 6, you're looking to get massive value out of it. A great way to do this is to simply gank your own lane, or if you're able to push out your lane, look to gank mid. Entering the mid game, you are an amazing split pusher. You are great in 1v1s, and your ultimate allows you to easily collapse onto team fights. Entering late game team fights, you can play as your teams engage, either starting with your stun or ultimate. And of course, if you can catch a carry out in either of these ways, you'll be able to blow them up before the fight even starts. Otherwise, you do want to play the more assassin role, where after the fight starts, you can go and dive their carry with your W, or you can simply wait off to the sides, wait for the fight to start, and then ultimate in. But regardless if you're playing the flanking assassin or your teams engage, your job will always be to jump onto their carry to try and blow them up, relying on your E to keep yourself safe.